Good morning, Chillie, with Chillie Cruises here on a story that broke last evening. A travel advisory has been issued for Jamaica. Now, this morning's story comes to us from our friends north of the border from Canada. The Canadian government has issued a travel state of emergency advisory from now until October 28th. The warning states that due to the increase in violent crime in the areas of St. James Parish, Jamaica, which includes Montego Bay, Hanover Parish, and Westmoreland Parish, including Negril, led to the extended emergency status. The Jamaican government has also implemented a state of emergency designation for St. Andrew Parish, which includes the Kingston area. So basically, folks, this has not been issued by the United States government. This has strictly been issued by the Canadian government. As you know, many of our friends from Canada travel to Jamaica this time of year. They had one death or two deaths last year about this time. And apparently the situation is getting worse instead of better in Jamaica, which prompted the Canadian government to issue the warning to its citizens. This is just out there, folks, for you to be aware. So if you're from the United States or from any place else in that matter, and you're on a cruise in the Western Caribbean that stops in Montego Bay or any of the cruise ports in Jamaica, just watch your back. Be very careful. Do all the usual safety things. Travel in groups as a pair as opposed to travel singly. Be careful on your excursions, etc., etc. It's recommended that travelers carry valid IDs at all times. Avoid going outside of resort areas or the recommended cruise excursions. And obviously cooperate with local authorities. Monitor local news if you're going to be staying in Jamaica. Tourists should avoid taking public transit and unmarked taxis and should be particularly cautious when paying with a credit card or using an ATM. Violent crime, including armed robbery and murder, is a problem in large cities in Jamaica, despite the presence of police to counter the criminal activity. Police may impose curfews with short notice in areas where gang activities is of a concern. The Canadian government indicates that individuals in Jamaica should exercise a high degree of caution due to the amount of violent crime. So, folks, just be careful if you're going to Jamaica, and you might want to consider if you have a Montego Bay port of call on this particular cruise, might not be a bad day to stay on the ship and not go ashore. I've always liked Jamaica, especially like Montego Bay. I've had some fun there over the years. But folks, just keep in mind, it's time to, in our world today, exercise caution if you're traveling. And thankfully, the Canadian government has issued a warning to their citizens, and wouldn't hurt for all of us to pay a little attention to that. That's it for this little excerpt of travel and cruise industry news. I regularly post videos on all facets of the cruise and travel industry. So if you'd like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, travel and cruise industry news, and our interview show called Chillie Chats, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Click on the bell notification system and you'll be notified when a new video is posted, or when we go live with our travel and cruise industry news show on Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday a.m. That's it for today. This is Chillie from Chillie's Cruises. We'll see you tomorrow on Travel and Cruise Industry News. Later, y'all.